Hello and welcome into the Ultimate Florida Sports Show. I am Evan Closky alongside Chris Porter, coming off an award last week. Congratulations, my man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, my friend. Ken Knight Award. That award is given to individuals who are doing great work in our community. He's passed on, but he was a fine journalist here in the city of Jacksonville. We've got a great show for you today, Evan. As you know, prop bets for week 1 of the NFL season. The Sunshine State showing out to start the college football season. Plus, Baker Mayfield calling out a teammate for being cheap. But first, let's start with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence knows the spotlight is squarely on him. Started with Sunday's game against the Carolina Panthers. QB 16 is being paid like one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, and now it's time for him to play like one. As the Jaguars continue to learn head coach Liam Cohen's offense, T-Law says he's already seeing reasons to believe this year will be different, and one of those reasons come from your quarterback, Evan, Baker Mayfield. Mayfield, who thrived under Cohen's guidance last season in Tampa, posted career numbers in yards, touchdowns, and completion percentage. Trevor says he's had several conversations with Baker, and Baker has him feeling confident.
Yeah, it gave me a lot of confidence. I've heard great things from other people as well, coming into whether it's about Liam or the system or whatever. But hearing his experience and obviously what they were able to do last year as an offense was super impressive, and especially as an individual, Baker played really well. So just talking to him, and he's told me just how much I'm going to love the offense, how much it's going to help me and help our offense really just go to the next level.
For Jags fans, the hope is that confidence turns into production and wins, because Trevor, he has to be locked in. He's the franchise centerpiece. Time for that development and the growing pains to be all over. This is the year he has to deliver. And Evan, T-Law is hoping that same magic Cohen had down in Tampa carries over here to Jacksonville.
Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't. Cohen is an offensive mastermind. He allows his quarterback to have a lot of control at the line of scrimmage. Going from Peterson to Cohen should be night and day. Now, does it click in game 1, Chris? We're going to see about that.
It ain't going to be easy. Bryce Young is coming in super confident after finishing last season strong, with Liam Cohen comparing him to NBA superstar Steph Curry, saying he can distribute. He distributes like Steph. That's one of the reasons he says he's like him. The Panthers receivers are physical, and the challenge has been issued to Jags corners to match their physicality. But the bottom line is, if this team is going to be successful, they've got to protect the bank, win their home games.
You always want to defend your home field, but also it's the first game and it's another game. So our goal at the end of the day is to win. We want to win, so we're going to come out here game 1 and just really demand and show who we are on offense, defense, as a whole team.
It's very, very crucial, you know what I'm saying? You got home field advantage. We got the weather on our side that we've been practicing for months in. And, we got the crowd on our side as well. So, we take emphasis and pride in, not getting beaten in our own place.
Man, that's major. Those are the ones that you have to obviously take advantage of week in and week out. Home games are the ones that you have to win.
Now, just to give you some perspective, the Jaguars were 3-5 at home last year. Not good, but they were 1-8 on the road. So it shows you how difficult it is to win on the road in the NFL, Evan.
Especially practicing in the humidity like our Florida teams do. In that fourth quarter, that's where you can really step up and use that home field as an advantage. As for the Buccaneers, they need to hit the ground running immediately, going up against the Falcons and Dade City native Michael Penix Jr. This game will likely be won in the defensive line, as both teams will be without their blindside protectors. Caleb McGarry is out for the season with Atlanta. Tristan Wirfs is out for a couple of weeks at least for the Buccaneers. On top of worrying about life without Charlie Heck at left tackle, offensive coordinator Josh Grizzard will call plays for the first time in his career. The team has been preparing for this moment since the start of camp, and they are confident heading into week 1.
How quickly can I get the ball to my playmakers in space? How quickly can they make the plays for us? And just over-communicating the looks, the timing of this play. Hey, we're going to have to hold on to it a little bit longer. It's a longer developing play. Or is it a bad look? Can I check to a screen? Can I do this and that just to get the ball out of my hands? And so that's, for me, it's just about being efficient.
Josh, he's excited already. This is great for him, and he should be excited. It's his first game, not preseason calling the game, and he's up for the task. I have every confidence in him.
The Buccaneers have won 4 season openers in a row. Only the Saints have a longer active streak at 6 games that might end this year. So they just need to run it back, Chris.
So you talked about Tristan Wirfs a little bit, but it's the right tackle on the Bucs who got out a bunch of headlines this week.
Yeah, you're right. Luke Gedeke earned a fat extension, 4 years worth up to $90 million. While he's never been an All-Pro or a Pro Bowler, he is one of the more underrated linemen in the league. Now, when it comes to what he'll do with the money, he doesn't quite know yet. Baker Mayfield called him the cheapest person he knows for not abiding by a fine system set up in an O-line room. Gedeke had to defend himself.
That's strictly because there's a lot of bias, and I felt shackled to the fine board. There is bias towards me where I'm racking up these unnecessary fines, whereas other guys are not getting fined. So that's why I staged a coup and I uprose against my fellow linemen, and I'm buying my way off the fine board.
He's got a lot of money now to buy his way off the fine board. I wish I could play more sound bites from this conversation, Chris. Gedeke told us he still drives a Ford Fusion and is looking to buy Teddy Bridgewater's minivan. He's a simple man. Doesn't need much, Chris.
I like that. Nothing wrong with being simple. Not bad for a guy out of Central Michigan. Last week marked a new chapter for Miami Hurricanes and for quarterback Carson Beck as he made his much-anticipated debut in a top 10 showdown against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And while the box score might not jump off the page, Beck finished 20 of 31, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. His efficiency tells the real story. According to Pro Football Focus, Beck had 0 turnover-worthy plays, and his average time to throw just 2.40 seconds, 21st fastest nationally among QBs with at least 20 dropbacks. When Beck got the ball out in under 2.5 seconds, he went 12 for 17 for 101 yards, and that includes 2 drops by his receivers. But when he held on to it longer, he did real damage. He was 8 of 13 for 104 yards and both of his touchdowns. Even under pressure, Beck was sharp, completing 3 of 5 for 55 yards and 2 scores when the Irish brought the heat. It wasn't a flashy performance, but it was poised, polished, and promising. And if his Week 1 performance is any indication, Beck's got a real big 2025 ahead in Coral Gables, Evan.
Yeah, it's just nice to see him healthy. I think that was a big deal going from last year at Georgia to this year now at Miami. As for the USF Bulls, a lot of national pundits out there believe this team could be the group of 5 representative in the college football playoffs this season. I mean, the start of the year really helps their case with Boise State, Florida, and Miami on the schedule. A lot of people bring up Lenoris Sellers of South Carolina as a big-time NFL prospect. But Byram Brown is almost the same exact height and weight of that guy. If he can prove he is the guy from 2 years ago, before his injury issues, he is probably one of the best quarterbacks in the country. As for Florida, the first 2 games of the year or whatever, the real season starts next week in Death Valley against LSU, at Miami, home versus Texas, and at Texas A&M. That is a crazy gauntlet. You don't have to win them all. But if they can at least win 2 of those matchups, they can build a case going into the back half of the year. I'm not a huge advocate for 3-loss teams, Chris, making the playoffs, but when you look at Florida's schedule, there's a chance all but 3 of these teams won't be ranked at some point this year. So they have some wiggle room more than other teams as long as they do not fall off a cliff.
You know what? That is going to be key because I'm going to tell you, for the second straight year, Mr. Napier and company, they've got the toughest schedule in all of college football, and they're not getting any breaks. None at all.
They're going to have to earn it. Spot the ball. That's what he says, right? Spot the ball.
Yes, sir.
Well, don't worry, FSU fans. We're going to spot the ball for you, too. We didn't forget about you in this week's Ultimate Rush. We've been talking about QB1, talking that talk, and also walking that walk.
Plus, Josh Hines' Allison Wesley is cancer-free. We're taking you to the heart of the game with how Hines Allen plans to sack opposing quarterbacks in pediatric cancer at the same time.
Time now for the Ultimate Rush. This is where we dig into some topics affecting the Sunshine State and beyond.
The only catch? We've just got 1 minute to make our point. And let's start with the Florida State Seminoles and their quarterback. I'm giving mad props to Waycross native and Ware County alum Thomas Castellanos because not only did he talk the talk, but he walked the walk back in June while on the Well Off Media YouTube show. Castellanos made waves when he said confidently that Florida State was going to beat Alabama in the season opener. And let's be honest, a whole lot of folks, even some of you Noles fans, thought that was wild. But Thomas did not flinch. He said, and I quote, "This ain't the same old Nick Saban Crimson Tide. Then in July, at ACC Media Days, he stood on business, doubled down on those comments with a straight face and full conviction. Fast forward to last Saturday, and what happened? FSU knocked off Bama in front of a packed house at the Doak and in front of a national TV audience, just like Castellano said they would. Now, it's one thing to be confident. It's another to call your shot 3 months in advance with the whole country watching and then deliver. So big salute to Thomas Castellanos. You spoke it, you believed it, you backed it up. Mad respect to you, and you're right. This ain't the same old Alabama Crimson Tide.
Hey, you know what? And he's profiting off of it with T-shirts now. So also respect on the hustle. As for the Tampa Bay Rays, I've talked about Junior Caminero plenty of times on the Ultimate Florida Sports Show. But, man, he just keeps raising the bar. This week, he reached 40 homers on the season. He also eclipsed 100 RBI on the year. In his age 21 season, he is having one of the greatest years we have ever seen from a Tampa Bay Rays player, period. It's truly incredible. Now, I will say, his home and road splits are crazy. At home, he is hitting north of 300 with an OPS around 1,000. On the road, that averages south of 200 with an OPS that drops nearly 300 points. So Tropicana Field might depreciate some of his numbers, but it won't magically zap away his powers either. The man has one of the fastest swings in the game and makes more consistent contact with the baseball than many sluggers around him. Guys like this simply do not come around often in the game of baseball. For a franchise that had to watch Wander Franco throw away what could have been a Hall of Fame caliber career, maybe Caminero is the franchise's way of doing it right the second time around. When Stu Sternberg took over the team, he had Evan Longoria. Maybe Junior can be Patrick Zalipski's Longoria.
Yeah, that kid, no doubt, is must-see TV, my friend. Let's talk a little more football. NFL's surprising shift in Miami. A star wide receiver Tyreek Hill will not wear the captain's patch for the 2025 season. It's the first time since he joined the Dolphins in 2022. The move comes after a turbulent offseason sparked by Hill's comments at the end of last year, hinting at a potential trade. While since he's apologized and reaffirmed his commitment to the team, it was not enough to earn the captaincy nod from his teammates, according to reports. This year, the Dolphins opted for a leaner leadership group, naming just 6 captains after votes clearly favored a smaller, more unified core. And while Hill was not among them, he's taken the decision in stride, saying he does not need a title to lead. Hill has vowed to continue setting the tone with his work ethic and play on the field. Still, the message from inside that locker room is clear. Accountability matters. Leadership is not just about production on Sundays. It's about consistency, presence, and commitment to the team's mission. Day in and day out. And in Miami, those players, they have spoken loud and clear. Tyreek Hill remains one of the most electrifying talents in the game, but this season he'll have to lead without that C on his jersey and let his actions speak louder than they ever have.
This is a big year for Tyreek. He's got to prove that he can do what he's supposed to do on the field, because he definitely ruffled some feathers in the locker room, and I don't think it's insignificant losing a C. That's kind of a big deal. That tells you a little bit of what's going on in there. All right. Time now for the heart of the game. This is where we go beyond the X's and O's and showcase why we all fell in love with sports in the first place. Chris, you got a great one courtesy of a Jaguars player.
Jaguars star defensive end Josh Hines Allen's son Wesley, as you heard there, ringing the bell. He's cancer-free. Celebrating his son beating cancer. During the announcement, you got to hear that bell, boom, 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 to end his cancer treatment. Wesley conquered cancer, and now they're channeling that victory into hope for families still in the battle through the Hines Allen's 4-1 for All Foundation. This season, Hines Allen is tackling more than just quarterbacks. He's tackling childhood cancer in honor of his son Wesley's battle with leukemia. Josh will pledge $410 for each sack the Jaguars defense achieves this season, and his teammates, they're joining him as well.
100%. 100%. I think the guys know, and they want to contribute. They want to help for me contribute a lot more. So, they're excited about it, and, I'm excited to get going.
Now, there are 4 cancer-focused nonprofits Josh Hines Allen's Foundation will donate to each month during the regular season: the Morris Children's Hospital, American Cancer Society, the Ronald McDonald House, and the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation. And by the way, I said 4-1. I think it's 41, but if the foundation. Anywho, love what Josh Allen is doing. For him to be able to stay focused with what his son went through last year and now to be able to come in with his son cancer-free, fantastic for him.
Yeah, we all have somebody that we know who's been affected by cancer, certainly in my family. Turning one of the most challenging moments of your life into a positive and helping others around you, that's what it's all about. So that is amazing stuff right there. Look, we're going to take a quick timeout, but when we come back, we have some prop bets for week 1 of the NFL season. Hear what we're thinking in the Ultimate Stakes segment. We'll be right back.
Hey, Dad. I don't need you to be perfect. I don't need you to be a superhero. I know you don't have it all figured out. Y eso está bien, porque eres mi papá. And that's enough. And scientific study shows when my dad is involved, great things happen. When test scores go up, I'm less anxious. I just become the best version of me.
We are back for our Ultimate Stakes segment. This is where we take a look at the odds via the Hard Rock betting app and give you our thoughts on teams or games. It all depends on the week.
Just a reminder, entertainment purposes only. Let's start out with the Jaguars and the Panthers. Ever since Liam Cohen was hired throughout the offseason, throughout training camp, we've heard about how he wants to be physical. He wants a physical running game. We gushed about what he did in Tampa with his rushing attack last season. And we've heard the coach say how much he loves Travis Etienne, who had to deal with rumors that he was not one of Cohen's guys before mandatory minicamp started back in June. However, Etienne assured me in our one-on-one conversation during training camp that Liam thought he was a great player from day one and coach wants to put him in position to win. So, with an emphasis sure to be placed on the running game, Hard Rock says Etienne will have about 39.5 rushing yards. I say he'll have about 80 to 100. The Jags being able to run the football effectively Sunday against the Panthers will open up the pass game and allow their number 1 receiver, Brian Thomas Jr., to make some big plays down the field. Hard Rock has BTJ locked in about 75.5 passing yards. I'm taking the over, and he'll have about 90, my friend.
All right, well, we got to pick it up right now because I'm going to go right into the Bucs game. As for this contest in Atlanta, I have a handful of props I like in this contest. First, I like the defense forcing a turnover, so give me the Michael Penix Jr. pick. Baker Mayfield, he's feeling good. He's got Charlie Heck on his blind side. I think he's going to run over the 13.5 yards. He did that 11 times last season. Finally, let's talk about former Florida product Kyle Pitts in 6 career games against Tampa Bay. He's gone over 3.5 receptions 4 times. He has never had less than 40 yards in a contest, so give me Kyle Pitts. It hasn't been a great career for him, but Kyle Pitts certainly does well against the Bucs, Chris.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts is a guy I just can't figure it out considering all the success he had when he was in Florida. He was the man, Evan. Before we finish the show, time for the last word. I have something to say about Trevor Lawrence before the 2025 season begins.
Time now for our last word. This is where we clear the paint, sound off on a topic that has caught our attention. Chris, lead us off, please.
Let's go. Trevor Lawrence, you're entering year 5 of the Tail in Black. My brother, I'm here to tell you that we are riding with you when the Jaguars made you the number 1 pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. They did not just draft a quarterback. They invested in a vision, a generational talent, a can't-miss leader. Come on out, T3. And despite the setbacks, despite the noise, I still believe in that vision. I know the last 2 seasons have not finished the way you or anyone in Duval wanted. I know injury slowed you down, and the weight of the expectations felt heavier than ever. But Trevor, I don't care about the past. I care about right now. I believe in you, and I believe this offense finally fits you. Liam Cohen's scheme is the most fluid, the most in sync, the most you felt like yourself since day one. We're not asking for perfection. We're asking you to lead, to lock in, to take everything you've learned, the hard lessons, the scars, the battles, and turn them into greatness. Let's go, Trevor. Let's go, Jaguars. Duval is riding with you.
Love it. It is go time for Trevor, Chris.
Yes.
It's very much go time for him, and certainly, he's got a young staff around him. And I just want to send a reminder here, and this was going to be my last word if we had a little bit of time. Week 1 is a liar. So even if things do not go well for you, don't worry about it. Week 1 is a liar. Now, week 2, week 3, week 4, if it compiles up afterwards, now we got some problems. But hey, it's going to figure it out and find out as we go here. And hopefully you guys have a great season. I think the Buccaneers can have a great one as well. The Dolphins, Chris, I don't know. I'm not so sure on the Dolphins.
No comment.
Yeah. We'll leave my comment there. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the Ultimate Florida Sports Show. Again, you can always find us on 10 Tampa Bay Plus. That is Chris Porter. I am Evan Closky. He's bringing you the best from Jacksonville. I'm always bringing you the best from Tampa Bay. Thank you for joining us weekly, and let's have some fun this week. Enjoy week 1 of the NFL season, and we'll get back to you next time.
Same time, same channel.